Hey, welcome back everybody to the Cult Classic Podcast. Cameron Jones here along with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
A little bit of a paw.
He forgot it.
Got your name.
Forgot it there for a second.
I just realized I was going to come in super
Well, that's
mumbly.
your middle name, isn't it? Jordan Jones.
Jordan Jones.
Had a little bit of a gap there, but we're coming back at you with a 2016 film, getting you out of the 90s, getting a little more recent for us, Hell or High Water. Toby is a divorced father who's trying to make a better life for his son. His brother Tanner is an ex-convict with a short temper and a loose trigger finger. Together, they plan a series of heists against the bank that's about to foreclose on their family ranch. Standing in their way is Marcus, a Texas Ranger who's only weeks away from retirement. As the siblings plot their final robbery, they must also prepare for a showdown with a crafty lawman who's not ready to ride off into the sunset. Hell or High Water.
Directed by David Mackenzie. Starring Jeff Bridges, Gil Birmingham, Chris Pine, and Ben Foster.
It's a good old heist movie with a bit of a Robin Hood feel to it, good cinematography, a lot of staring into the distance.
It's a modern-day Western / heist film.
It's not really recreating anything. You can kind of sense maybe what's coming, but it's still just told so well that it's a great movie.
All we're going to do is talk about the pacing. That's all I want to talk about. This is maybe one of the best paced movies ever.
Hell or High Water.
Okay, cast and crew. This one's directed by David Mackenzie. He didn't have a lot on his docket, to be honest. This is probably his best work, I would say.
Okay, I'm not too familiar with the name.
Yeah, no.
At all.
Like Outlaw King. There's just a lot of stuff you haven't heard of. And then all of a sudden it's Hell or High Water. It's like, what the fuck?
I think the screenwriter on this one actually did a couple other things. He did this.
The screenwriter,
That's your more notable
Taylor
one.
Sheridan. Yep, Taylor Sheridan, screenwriter. Did Wind River. He did a lot of Yellowstone, the series on, I don't know if it's on Hulu or Netflix.
Haven't caught it yet, but people love it.
Yeah, they do. Sicario. Is that is that Costner?
Yeah,
No.
In Yellowstone?
Yellowstone, yes, Costner.
and they have like two spin-offs. They have
got
like
it.
Yellowstone, 1914.
Cesario. Check out that movie. We should maybe do that someday. It's Josh Brolin. And,
Sicario is good. It's about the cartel, right?
yeah, it's really good. I haven't seen the sequel
Dark
yet.
and
but
Yes.
it's dark. It's dark, man.
It's dark. Emily Blunt, I think.
Like, yeah, Emily Blunt might be the main character, kind of, right?
Wind River is good too, actually. If it's a Jeremy Renner film.
I got like
They're
halfway
up in the cold. They're trying to solve a murder.
I got that suggested by one of my brother-in-laws, and I'm like, I'll check it out. And then like over Christmas, trapped in someone's house, I started. I'm like, this is a good movie, and I haven't finished it yet, but I will get back to it.
I'll get around to that.
Finish it. It's kind of very similar to this movie in some
I don't know
aspects.
how the page relates to the final product, but based off this screenwriter, this guy gets it.
He gets it.
Then the music is by Warren Ellis and Nick Cave. They also were on Wind River, and then that Prohibition movie Lawless with Shia LaBeouf.
That wasn't great.
But have you?
I didn't hate it, but
raise your hand if you've watched it more than once.
No, I think just the ones in theaters.
Nope.
Oh, I thought like
Really? Oh, Jordan's raising his hand like he needs the answer.
I
from the
thought we
teacher.
were. Oh, not me. I'm gonna look down. I'll be like, you're gonna have to come get me, teacher.
Jordan,
Which automatically gets you called
can't
on.
look down.
If you look down, you can't
You
look
have to
down.
look
No,
at,
no,
but
no.
just not look.
If you look down, it's Jordan. Let's see the answer for number
I
four.
looked down.
present.
I looked down, and I gave them. I
Look
gave them
present.
a year of experience, or I gave them a year of data to be like, don't fucking call on me. Like, whoa.
All right, onto the cast. Starring, I would say, Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges. We know Chris Pine from the Star Trek films, Captain Kirk.
Star Trek's definitely the big breakout film. He wasn't doing stuff like before that, and he has like a big run of like, I don't know, romantic comedies and kind of shittier ones. He's paid his dues though. But also, I mean, of course, Chris Pine. His parents were actors Robert Pine and Gwen Guilford, and also I think his grandfather was. Here, I have it here in front of me. His grandpa was Max Guilford, the president of the Hollywood Bar Association. So from a to-do Hollywood family. But
you know what movie of his I really like is Unstoppable with Denzel Washington, the train movie where
that's another movie.
It's a runaway train.
That's another movie that's not amazing, but it's very enjoyable to watch. It's entertaining.
He did get a start in Princess Diaries 2 and 1.
Yeah,
2.
He sure did.
You said 2.
Sure did.
Yeah.
It's like Grease.
2.
You did a pause.
Not that bad. Grease anyway. Not that bad. Jeff Bridges we brought up, but I mean, of course, go back and see
quickly? Can I caveat? Train movies are actually pretty fucking good movies. If you're trapped, I'm in. I'm okay with them. Strangers
I'm actually
on the
agree.
Snowpiercer, Bullet Train.
I liked it.
Polar Express.
Strangers on the Train. Oriental Express, the remake aside, that one kind of fell
a little flat.
Anyway, Cameron, you were saying Jeff Bridges?
The first 5 minutes of Music Man.
Yeah, of course, Jeff Bridges, the other co-star of this movie. He's come up a bunch of times on our podcast. I mean, I don't even know all the movies we've done in him, or if we were just recasting him all the time.
We
know who Jeff Bridges is.
Did
Tron, right? Was he in Tron?
Yep.
And
the original
Tron
and the remake.
Okay. Yep.
We for sure did The Big Lebowski, and then I don't know if we've hit him up or not, but he's around.
He's definitely being recasted a lot.
We've hit him up. He never answered back.
But I mean, you know who he is. True Grit. If not, see any of our other episodes. We won't linger on him.
True Grit. I love it. Okay. The brother of Chris Pine in this is Ben Foster. I don't know him.
He has a familiar face.
There are two roles I definitely know him from.
He does.
Yeah, but they're like a little bit before this, so he looks.
He's in a lot of crew action movies as just one of the guys. You know what I mean? So he kind of blends in.
But specifically for me, I'm like, man, because I was kind of thinking about recasting them, but it was just the younger version of him. 3:10 to Yuma, he plays like the bad guy trying to get Russell Crowe's character back, and he's pretty evil. And then he's in this movie called.
Say that again. Well, what's that called?
3:10 to Yuma.
3:10.
It's a Western from probably 2006, 10 years before
2007.
Okay, that was close. Anyway, he's in that, and I knew him from that, and he's a bad dude in that movie. And then he's in this movie called Alpha Dog. It's got like Justin Timberlake.
That's true.
Way back. It's a bad. That one is a weird. I don't know, but he's in that.
I'm seeing here he's best known for this is his number one, The Messenger, 3:10 to Yuma, and Leave No Trace. But like I looked through, he's also in Finest Hour, also with Chris Pine. And just if you go through, it's just kind of some like action crew movies. But you've seen him in things. He's in The Mechanic. He's in 30 Days of Night. I think
this was probably his biggest supporting role. No,
yeah,
like he's probably
screen time for sure. I think yeah.
Currently, I think this is his number one.
He's so good in this movie too.
30 Days of Night. I think he's the crazy guy in the jail. That's actually what I know him most from. That
it seems like he plays crazy pretty well.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the deputy that works with Jeff Bridges. Gil Birmingham plays Alberto Parker. Also in Wind River, I think playing a very similar character. And then he's in one or all of the Twilight movies.
Unfortunately, I know him most from the Twilight series.
Jacob?
Yeah. No, you don't.
But yeah, it's also saying best known.
I'm team.
I just do.
Team Alberto.
Best known for Wind River, the Twilight Saga, and Rango, that Johnny Depp lizard animated movie, apparently. But
no, that primarily from its thumbnail on streaming services.
He also does a lot of TV, though. He's on Yellowstone. It looks like he's been on NCIS, like a lot of TV here. So
it seems like if you feel like you can be in the plains, you've acted on Yellowstone.
True.
That's all I really want to touch on. There's a lot of like extras that we can get into. And
there's a lot of other people in this, but like I think the only one that actually stood out to me was like Katie Mixon, who's like the waitress. She's just on TV in a lot of different things.
Oh, you'll know her from Four Christmases. Go back and listen to our Four Christmases episode.
That's true. She's
She's from Eastbound and Down, right? That's probably her biggest role.
Yeah, she had a familiar face.
Oh yeah, right.
I don't. This is no insult to her, but she plays like trash Texan pretty well.
Yeah, it seems to be her role. But should we move it on to Unverified? Welcome to the Cold Classic Movie Phone. It's August 19th, 2016, and currently in theaters you could have seen Mechanic Resurrection, Imperium with Daniel Radcliffe and Toni Collette.
Good actress.
Good actress. War Dogs.
Good actress.
Kubo and the Two Strings, that animated claymation. I like it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
That movie fucking slaps. Is it? Here's what's their oh jeez.
Leica? No.
Yeah, Leica. Whatever they make,
It's good.
even if it's not a great story, it's just so impressive that they did it.
True.
They've been working on it for like 10 years. Too.
Yeah, respect it. Pete's Dragon, the remake. Never saw it.
Ooh.
Like the original too much.
Ridge?
Yeah, I love the original, so I couldn't do it.
What's the original song?
Candle
I don't remember.
on the wire. I think you're thinking of that for some reason.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Yeah, you just put out a little bit. Cameron was ready for
Why
that
did
one.
you both know that immediately?
We watched it a lot.
I didn't know until Cameron started playing it.
That's stunning.
Last but not least, Suicide Squad, the first one with Will Smith that everyone hated. The second one's great.
Wow, that is older than I thought.
Right? But
Older.
you chose to see Hell or High Water, but you probably didn't because this kind of disappeared. Like, not a lot, you know.
This one, I'll admit, I saw this on streaming. I didn't even know it existed.
Yep.
I thought it was. I thought it was
too.
newer than 2016. I thought it was like 2020.
Yeah, 20, the world stopped, so I knew it wasn't then. But I will say, I think it had a relatively small budget of $12 million.
Yeah, that's
Which is for that means all these people took a pay cut. They just wanted to make a good
for all
movie.
the actors. Yeah.
And then made $37.9 million. So I mean, profitable, a success, but
Profitable.
definitely under the radar.
yeah, for sure. But it's a good movie.
I bet that movie
don't remember
wasn't
seeing
even,
it.
I bet it wasn't even wide release.
Yeah, I don't remember. Mark, I think you were about to say ads or anything for this.
I don't remember any trailers for this movie. Otherwise, I definitely would have saw it. This is right up my alley. I don't remember any trailers for this movie.
Since then, though, like if I look on Netflix, there's like 5 movies that are like this with big actors from like the last 5 years. Then I'm like, where the hell did this come from?
Can I bring up an oldie but a goodie category, long but not forgotten?
Sure.
Is this a cult classic?
Kind of. I think
This one actually might be.
I think it is specifically because
it's probably it might be too soon. I don't know when that window is.
Here's what I'll say: it's growing in popularity because there's been a spotlight on streaming. It's been getting like a cure, like our staff picks and stuff like that, or like it's getting up there. I think.
Well, that's
it's like
essentially
89 or 88 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah,
I mean it's pretty well.
But that's
received.
essentially like got popular in syndication. That's what streaming is now, or rental.
True. So anyway, I think it is building in streaming.
It's on its way. Maybe it's at least a cult movie, if not classic.
This is just a factual thing that I thought was kind of fun. The phrase "come hell or high water" typically means do whatever needs to be done, no matter the circumstances. This was mostly for like cowboy men, and it also kind of was mostly about crossing a river. But it also means contractually in a lease, which states the payments must continue regardless of any difficulties the paying party may encounter. So essentially, it's saying no matter what happens, you have to pay this indefinitely too. So it was a double meaning title for this movie because it's also the house.
The name is so good for this movie compared to what it could have been.
Do you have the
Comancheria?
That was the working title for it. It was going off the like Lord
which
of the
is
Plains.
a region of Mexico, West Texas, and just also occupied by the Comanche before the 1860s. So
I know this is you couldn't do this because it's probably culturally insensitive. But my working titles, if it wasn't going to be Hell or High Water, it'd be Lords of the Plains. That's what my working title would have been.
Which essentially, I think, what Comancheria was trying to embody. You know what I mean?
I know, but it's got a different ring.
I know. I get you. This was like a crazy.
Can I have 2 tickets to Comancheria?
Oh yeah, that's definitely going to be. It's definitely going to be an Ex Machina thing where it's going to take me a couple years to figure out if I'm right or not.
Yeah.
Nobody ever got it right. It's probably.
Hey man, at least the public's agreeing with my pronunciation.
Machete.
I think. Due to the tight schedule with Star Trek Beyond in 2016, Chris Pine was only available for 2.5 weeks of filming. He filmed this entire movie in 2.5 weeks. Because of this, they shot all the scenes rapidly and in sequence to try to build the tension and not get him too out of it because it was, it's so fucking short. But isn't that crazy? 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, that's wild. Does that just mean he's a good actor?
I mean, and also just production. Everything was just set like very tight.
Yeah.
Everything is just moving.
I mean, even more on that. He's not in every scene of the movie, but he's in a decent portion.
I mean, but if you think about it, a lot of it is just like location, wasteland, kind of Texas. It doesn't seem like it would be a
cinematography.
It wouldn't be a huge budget to like get anything. I mean, it doesn't seem like it'd be a time constraint as long as you're in that location and you have like everything locked down and scouted.
Yeah, location based. It seems like outside of the bank robbery, like.
And like the chase scene is probably the most complex. And
but he didn't have to be there for the chase scenes.
Turns out it was all just so he could like grow his scruff and a mustache.
Worth it.
Hey,
worth it. I know that it's not like logistically, it doesn't make sense from a budgetary, but don't you in your head be like, you should shoot every movie in sequence?
Yeah, I mean, I think it would just help as an actor to like build upon. It makes sense. I mean, I know why you can't do it. I mean, it's just,
you're saying you should or shouldn't?
Should. I think
can.
I think it'd be better for everybody.
If you can.
I'd want that.
I mean, the obvious reason is budget and just location availability, and you got to do what you can.
Yeah, I get it. It's just not possible. But anytime I hear it, it's normally a good movie.
Wow. I have an answer for you about why this didn't get widely released or received. The movie features 3 big name actors, and it tested really well with audiences. However, However, the film did not receive a wide release in theaters because no advertisers wanted to be associated with a film advertising retribution against financial institutions. So all the money was like, this isn't good for us.
Wow.
So that's why the movie kind of got buried. They couldn't find investors.
Just watching like the award show that year, and you'd see it get nominated for. I think it was Best Picture nom. Maybe
it might have been. That was definitely around the time when they extended.
Just hearing that name though
movies.
come up, I'm like, I don't even know what that movie is.
Let's see, 2016. The winner is Spotlight. What are the
Spotlight? That makes sense.
What are nominees? Here we go. Let's find out. We had Bridge of Spies. Still never seen. Jordan talks about it all the time.
Bridge of Spies is a good movie. It's definitely forgotten and overlooked, but it's just a good fucking. It's Spielberg. He still got it. It's Tom Hanks. He still had it.
I'll get around to it. Mad Max: Fury Road, The Revenant.
Okay.
Spotlight, which won. The Martian with Matt Damon, entertaining movie. The Big Short.
Leo got sniped. Leo got
Short for sure.
He got Best Actor. He got what he got. The Big Short.
That was his Lifetime Achievement Award.
Okay, right, good.
The Big Short, Room, and Brooklyn were all up.
I still haven't seen The Room. That's the only
Neither
one of those.
have I, because I know it's going to be heavy, and I'm just not ready for it.
Everybody says it's just depressing.
Yeah, that's why I'm like,
I'm good. I'm already depressed enough.
Oh, it looks like Jeff Bridges got nommed for Best Supporting.
Chris Pine get nominated for Best Original or Best Actor?
No.
Do you want to know a funny, just local fact that they threw in? You know the scene with the thugs in the gas station when he's like, "You got me, Mr. Pibb."
Mm-hmm.
The Dr. Pepper factory, or Dr. Pepper, was invented in Waco, Texas, and all the locals have quite a hatred for Mr. Pibb and refuse to drink it. So that was like a real comment. I don't mind Mr. Pibb.
Nice. I like it.
I mean, do you like the alternate of the like? So do you like Coke or Pepsi? Do you like Sprite or I guess it's now Starry?
I'll say though, we're almost talking more like your Dr. Thunders and your. I'm trying to think.
Okay, your guy. Yeah, right.
I do like your
grocery store.
I do like your off-brand Dr. Peppers. They're a little more pungent than others.
They usually work though better than a cola. You can tell it if it's not Coke.
Cola's the rightest Friday, but if you want off-brand anything,
real quick.
Root beer can't miss. Your off-brand root
beer doesn't miss. Fine. It doesn't miss. Real quick, can you guys name the local grocery store Fairway's version of Mountain Dew?
Hillbilly Holler.
Hillbilly Holler?
Hillbilly Holler. It's Hillbilly Holler.
We also had one called Mountain Lightning.
Oh yeah, we also have Mountain Lightning, which just sounds like
it's like moonshine for kids.
Yeah, it was.
Hillbilly Holler.
You guys have any other facts on this one? There weren't that many on this. Again, because it kind of just disappeared. It was also shot in 2.5 weeks, so not a lot of time to build lore.
I think, though, that this proves, though, that a movie, their budget is like their production budget, but then most movies spend about the same amount of money on
You usually spend
marketing.
almost the exact amount on marketing and advertising.
And I assume, smaller movies don't
get that
have
budget.
the marketing budget, and they don't get seen.
So we'll probably move it on from here, but let us know if you know any cool facts about this movie, because the interwebs didn't have too many for us. But we're going to move it on to questions,
comments,
animosities.
QCA. Not a lot of questions. I think we're mostly just going to be praising this movie, and it starts off action packed. It really just draws you in from the start, and I like that. I mean, like any
100%.
Any heist movie or anything like this usually starts with like a job, but I like it.
This is my favorite genre of movie, and I'm thinking I'm putting this at least top 2 or 3 in
your heisties.
In my heisties.
I'd agree with that, but on top of that, it's a double-edged sword. It's a western.
Especially think about this. Some of the most heist films you think are 40 years old, 20 years old. This one's like a modern day heist film that like completely works, and that's tough to do. I'd say what's a little different is you don't have a whole crew you're getting together. It's such a small cast, and I really, really enjoy that. It's not 20 deep. It's just,
right.
Two brothers.
Yeah, it's really
two brothers.
The main 4 characters.
2 brothers, yeah.
But even all the side characters deliver. I mean, everyone in it's good.
This just came to me. Are we calling it a Western? And I think it is. After I watched the movie the first 1 or 2 times, I'm like, oh, that's just a modern Western. If it took place somewhere else, like a city environment, would we still call it? Same story.
So I see where you're coming from. I do feel like a lot of modern day westerns do take place in Texas. I think a lot has to do with the pacing of it, and this is paced like a western essentially. So, but you are correct. I think most, in quotes, modern day westerns do take place.
Well, and on top of that, the brothers
in conventional western settings.
I'll say this: the brothers' story until Tanner going out in the end is just kind of a heist movie. It's really the Jeff Bridges side of it that's your typical like sheriff at the end. I'm going to retire. This is my last roundup thing. It's really just his character that brings that strong western vibe.
There's heisty stuff in westerns.
A lot of westerns are
bank robbers.
They don't call it heist, but they're bank robbers, or they rob trains. They're going on their last hurrah to save, whatever. So that plays pretty well. I'd say as far as modern day westerns and a bench, this isn't our Mount Rushmore, right? We're not doing modern day westerns.
No. Well, maybe
Correct.
we can, but
we may eventually. But
okay. Anyway, in comparison, like I really do enjoy this one because of the simplicity of the story, and I guess that's true of most modern day westerns in quotes, but this one's such a tight cast.
Well, the complaint I've heard from you mostly pacing. Though, most modern westerns really drag, and this one has good pacing.
Good pacing.
That's goddamn it. You're so right, because
that's your
this
point.
Movie,
you say that all the time.
Sorry, but I guess to extrapolate that point, I don't know if that's the right word.
It is.
No, so this movie is slow and the scenes are long, but they build tension with the pacing. And there's a lot of other modern day westerns that are just slow paced, but there's not real tension there, or the story doesn't move. This one, because of the plot and the good acting, it really doesn't feel slow. It just is paced at the proper amount. I don't know if I explained that right, but that's
you did. I think a big part that I like is no love interest, so it can kind of be all about the brothers and their struggle to figure out the situation.
Hey man, if Tanner hadn't robbed that bank, I think he had a shot with that waitress.
Yeah, he might.
Yeah, I think everybody had a shot with the waitress. I don't want to be rude. I guess it helps to have drop dead gorgeous face and hair.
True.
He probably had a shot with a lot of waitresses. Didn't he have a shot with the hooker? She's like, you don't even have to pay me. Like,
we talked about
I'd let that dude rob my bank.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm with you.
We talked about it earlier, but again, just for the budget, the cinematography and the shots are really beautiful in it. I mean, I'm going to make a joke that, Jordan, you and I don't do near enough standing in a field looking off in the distance, slowly sipping a beer, and that is a third of the movie. But
I'll one up you on that. Like, if this were Cameron or me, I'd be like, I think Cameron's going to jail. I think he's robbing banks alone. Like, it's even though.
So you're not going to be like, who's Kyle we taking? You're just man.
No.
Who's Tanner? Right, who's Tanner? Who's Toby in this situation?
I think we got ourselves 2 Tanners, right?
I was going to say 2 Tanners, just
Lords of the Plains.
No, I was seeing us more as 2 Tobys and just defeated men.
I think we're like those guys sitting at the diners. Like, yeah, we saw them.
Yeah, we saw some stuff.
It's weird because in general, I don't like the Tanner type of character, the destructive one that just F's up everyone. Mm. But in this movie, because he portrays him well, or because the relationships between the brothers are so strong, I'm fine with it. Like, I know he's going to mess everything up, but in general, I really hate that type of character.
You know what movie it really reminds me of, in a weird way, is Rounders. Yeah, they're not brothers. They're not brothers,
Yeah,
but just the kind of the it just
the
really
worm
parallels.
character. But I think it was such a hard recasting because the actor that plays Tanner, like, he really is perfect for the role.
I agree.
I'm in no way rooting
Very
for him, but like I'm with it. I'm with the character. I'm like, God, stop doing this, bro.
And again, like we did say, I did say, you can call a lot of the tropes. They're talking about retirement. You're pretty sure someone's going to die. The brother's a hothead at the beginning, so you know, like, that's going to escalate into a problem. But even so, like,
there's a standoff at the end. You're talking about just like Western tropes?
Western, like, it's not like overly original in its story. The actual like reasoning behind the bank heist is kind of nice and original. But like,
sure,
you could tell these things were going to come.
It's the character development, like, and
you could tell these things were going to come, but it didn't take. It doesn't take it away from me. It's still like everything else about it rises up so well. And the fun thing about the heist where it's not for him, it's for the family. Like, he's getting nothing out of this. It's kind of the
I guess I'll
twist.
compare it to, I'll make an analogy to like when you watch a cooking show, like a cooking competition. When somebody makes something super simple, they're like, you better fucking nail it and like make sure everything's perfect. And they did. It's a simple story.
Gordon Ramsay's like, make a hamburger, you idiot.
Yeah.
On top of that, too.
But like, they made the hamburger perfect. So like, this tastes like a hamburger. It's great. You executed. Like, I know it's just a hamburger, but goddamn if it's
stunning.
I like the way they bury the cars. Like, casino thing, that's a trope. I mean, but to launder money. But the burying the cars is kind of fun.
I saw that for the first time. I'm like, that's fucking so sick.
You want to know the real problem they have
cool.
in that area of Texas? There's a lot of stolen cars because these brothers are always just in a new vehicle. That's the real problem in the area.
Yeah, but it's just like 4.
Still.
That's got to ruin the car, right? They can't use that one again.
Every time they just get rid of it. Yeah, he says at one point, like, we ruined this car during that, when Tanner does like the daytime robbery at the diner, and they weren't supposed to bury that one yet.
Right.
My only small animosity with that is I think that they would not get away with this with just the smallest amount of investigating, because they caught his brother. That's my only animosity.
Yeah, there's no way to link that brother, even though he was driving in the area and was stopped at a patrol stop to get him to the.
It's like the town a little bit. Like they know who is doing the heist, but they just can't.
You got to prove it.
I guess there's your Robin Hood aspect. There's your Robin Hood aspect of it. It's like the people, fuck the bank, fuck the rich.
The waitress is protecting his identity.
You go catch him.
That banker's protecting his identity.
Well, the waitress wants her $80 tip. It
was more than that.
She still served
$200
that tip.
$200 tip, Mark.
$200 tip. Sure. She brought some short stacks. She brought some flapjacks.
You gotta lie. You'd be like, did he tip you? I'd be like, $20.
Yeah,
$20. Yeah.
Bad on her.
$20.
On the flip side, if we're talking about the movie, the other waitress in the movie probably hasn't gotten $200 in her whole career. No. She's a little salty, and I don't think that that's helping anybody.
Oh, that mean waitress. What don't you want?
Yeah. Yeah. What don't
you want the corn on the cob, or don't you want the green bean?
I'd be like, I don't want to eat here. This is just miserable. I feel uncomfortable.
That lady's not an actress, right?
I don't know. It seemed very natural.
Hold on, I'm pretty sure she's somebody.
She killed it, because that seemed like she was there. Seemed like that just happened in front of her.
Again, I do like the
This isn't Ed DeBevics. This isn't Dig/Resort. Like, just let me have a medium.
Yeah, I've had a hard day.
Let me order the steak.
I'm about to retire.
I've had a hard day.
Just Jesus.
I'm about to retire, and because of that, one of the two of us is we've got to die.
True. Just back to the casino thing real quick. Because it's so easy to launder money and it's a plot in so many movies, does it seem like casinos should have, like, well, I guess they wouldn't care, but
authorities?
Shouldn't the government probably have some better overwatch into like large sums of cash going through? I don't know.
A lot of casinos.
That exact thing written down.
Hey man, I want to let it ride, but just like thought in the back of my mind, like, it seems like that's an easy thing to, like, I don't know, stop people from doing.
This may be a question you don't have the answer to. How much did they do at a time? It wasn't like a crazy amount though. It wasn't like $60,000. It was like 5,000, right?
It was like 10,000.
It was like 10,000, yeah.
10,000 time.
Which I think, to Cameron's point, I think there should be like a vet, like at that. If you're bringing that, he's like, what do you say? I sold my car.
I think he's like, yeah, I sold my car. I think was the excuse. But did they go to the same casino each time?
She's like, car again. You could bring him change.
Yeah, but they had the right guy go into the register. They didn't have Tanner.
True.
No,
like, oh, God, I'm gonna have to get my manager on this one.
The way he gave him like $100 or like $1,000 worth of whatever chips, and he just like scoots off all giddy.
I will say this:
to fucking blow it.
It's tough to pick a favorite scene. To Cameron's point, there is a lot of sitting and staring off, but I'm into that. Made me want to have a Shiner box and sit with Cameron in the heat.
Seeing all the Shiner box in this movie, and I have been talking about kind of wanting one for a second. Ooh, it got me craving. Shiner box beer inside, if you do not know. It's a good beer from Texas.
Shiner box beer. It's Texas beer, yeah. Lone Star. I like Lone Star, which is just,
it's kind of a Texas thing, too. The way he's like, they're sitting in the motel room at the end of the night, and like his partner's like cashed, and he like not want to deal with like this old guy shit, and he's just drinking Shiner Bock with his like leg up. I don't know, it's so cool. Then he throws the cap at him at the end of the night.
Two things I really want to say about Jeff Bridges' appearance. One, I really like that blanket cape when he's walking across the roadway. That is maybe my favorite visual in the movie, and the most Western looking shot in it is him just like crossing with his blanket. And two,
I absolutely know. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I think I'm going to steal it from you. I think you're a big fan of the hat on the shoe.
Yes, love it. You can talk. You can bring it up.
That's it. Just the way that he always takes his hat off with his leg crossed and puts his hat on his boot.
My last comment I've written down. I said, "He said, mind if I sit?" And just then resting your Stetson on your like cowboy boot. It's
perfect.
That's a cool
move.
I almost want to wear a cowboy hat just to do
power.
There's two great aesthetics of Jeff Bridges in this movie. It's the cape blanket, and it's anytime he takes his hat off like that to put it on his foot. Just cool.
I will say though, and I think that it's a little bit not acting also, but he went full Bridges after, and this is jumping forward quite a bit in the movie. After he, spoiler alert, after he kills Tanner, when he is celebrating the shot, he's like, and he's like satisfied. Full Bridges there. Yeah. We're full tilt Bridges there.
That's a great scene, though. That's a great scene. It really is. Bridges.
I like though how he gets emotional after it, because it makes sense. It's a heavy day.
It's a heavy day. It's an explosion right before.
I feel like I could see Cameron in like a nice Stetson.
Me too, right? I thought that too after seeing it. No, I didn't.
Did you see that?
I've actually thought, and I'll reference, I don't think we've done this. I can't remember if we did City Slickers or not.
We did.
I think I don't know if we did. I think I run into the Billy Crystal. It's like Jews just don't look good in cowboy hats.
No, if you have a Jew,
unfortunately, my face looks.
If our hair was curly, it'd look a little funny. But as long as we have a short, nice hair, it looks fine.
Oh, speaking of hair, and I got to bring it up because I think we're kind of a hair podcast sometimes.
Sure. We are.
Chris Pine just makes there's proof that you don't got to cut your hair short to have it look nice. It's not super long, but sometimes you got to let it flow. It's just a good look.
Have you ever gone to like the hairdresser and like say like I want this, and you come out and it just
never the
nothing.
Same. No.
It's never the same.
You know what I started doing? I started showing them pictures of myself because I don't have like a barber here. I'm like, just try to replicate.
Can I go back to this?
Try to replicate these 4 looks of me. And I'll be like, I'm sorry that I'm smiling and all of them, and it gets a little dumb, but how am I going to explain to you to do this? That's what I'm trying for. And they're like, I think I got it, but they don't.
So never say the Bradley Cooper because it's just going to come out.
You got to get a perm.
I don't know. Yeah,
depending on the movie you're seeing, Emma. So I know it's just like a trope of the movie and it's part of the plot, but animosity, you got to cut your brother loose after that random daytime robbery in the diner. You know that's going to get traced back to you. Like, if not for that, it doesn't seem like they would have had.
That's not what brothers do, Jordan.
Yeah, but
tell him.
Well, in mine and Cameron's defense, we also have 3 sisters, so I don't know what only brothers do. It seems like they got a lot more riding on it, but I can tell you as a person who has 3 other siblings, yeah, I'll be like, sorry.
Imagine the Brady Bunch being
like, for someone
making
else.
a heist, the Brady Bunch.
So my biggest animosity just from, not for the movie, just me is like, I wish this didn't happen and I'd like it a little bit more. I wish Chris Pine's character didn't murder anybody. I know he got roped into it, but he ends up shooting one guy right in the head.
I don't know
when the heist goes wrong. I think he does.
I can't remember if that's him or Tanner. I remember he shoots someone.
Tanner definitely kills people.
The headshot is Tanner. I think the body shots are
that part did get a little confused. I have seen it a few times, but I've still been a little confused just because they're wearing
maybe
masks.
He's just mad at his brother because like we weren't supposed to kill people. Like that was not part of this.
And in all heist movies or most heist movies, you have a heist that goes wrong, and that's going to happen. But I wish.
Well, if not, then there's just what are we watching here? It's like, well, we did it again.
Just shaking hands and slapping asses, not too bad. I'd be fine with that too a little bit. Your only animosity is like it went a little too perfect, But yeah, could Could this movie exist without the heist? I don't think so. You could probably...
They would have to be on the run or something, essentially. I mean, you would just change out the plot of we're getting money to we need to get to this point. We're getting to... I
know that this would probably be some people's animosity because they really dislike it. People really dislike exposition, which is just scenes that explain the plot and move it forward. I'm fine with them because I think you need them.
I mean, you need them sometimes.
But in this one, they meet with their banker, the lawyer, we essentially understand how and why they're doing stuff and able to do it. I love
We need that scene. I mean, it's not my favorite scene, but we need the understanding. I mean, it gives us all the emotional
I like the
investment.
banker in it, though. He's like, ain't nothing better. Ain't nothing more Texas.
You should open up a loan with mid. I like that little thing, too, at the end.
I'm fine with that scene.
Just saying, also animosity. The cops at that patrol.
I did want to recast that guy.
Oh, he's fine.
I got one for him. It's not going to be good. It's Michael Bryan.
Sorry, Cameron. I didn't mean to.
The cops at that patrol stop, just a little animosity, are bad at their job. Chris Pine was probably covered in blood, at least his hands. He'd been shot. And it's Texas, but he's sweaty. It's just
one of my favorite scenes of the movie, though. So intense. I was on the edge of my seat.
I mean, they were going back and forth, I think, between the brother, too. So there's just two high tension moments happening at once.
I will speak up for characters that aren't the best at their job. Sometimes you're just like, this is going to make my day way longer. But there's probably other stops. You got to assume that they're going to get caught somewhere else.
You're like, oh shit, there's blood on the stomach.
I mean, if he is the bank robber, great. But if not, we got a whole nother day.
He's off at 5. It's like 4:57.
This is a lot of paper.
Sometimes life's about timing.
He's like, this is a lot. Yeah, a lot of paper.
My pen's run out.
This is going to make I just got to get home. I want to have dinner.
Yeah. We were going to Chili's, I thought.
Plus, that guy looks like he's going to die anyway.
True.
Probably just die. I'm just saying that
the guy who did it. You just tip like Jeremy off at as you switch shifts.
The shift change, yeah, but hey, you might want to check out this guy. I did notice some weird stuff.
He probably did it.
He definitely did. He had a bank full of money and he was bleeding pretty bad.
Okay. All right. There, Dave.
Do you think, this is a question, Cameron, if I ever say I love you like this and I'm not drunk, do you assume that I'm like, oh no, Jordan's going to die?
I don't know. You've never said it when you're not drunk.
Okay, then. All right.
We'll find out.
I guess we'll find out when it happens.
Okay.
I think I'm getting older and probably, I know this is dumb and cliche, but I think having a kid, I get touched more in movie scenes. That was a very touching scene. It got me verklempt a little bit.
It just gets you.
Yeah.
Another just trope for Westerns, and I like that even in this modernization, we got a posse. The town did rally up and try to chase him out of town. So that's just kind of another, I don't know, modernization of your typical Western.
I'll tell you what.
I like my Westerns. Maybe
my Honda Civic is not handling all those bullet holes, and just
No,
I'm not getting out of it.
Some of those cars were better than that car. They caught up. They would have caught up.
The townsmen have already killed me.
And it's amazing that in that spray of machine gun fire, he didn't seem to hit anybody, and everybody got back in their cars and could drive away fine.
And he definitely wasn't pulling shots.
No, he was.
He would have sprayed them all down.
True.
Is he ex-military?
No, just prison.
No, I don't think
Do
so.
they ever explain that?
No.
Why does he have sniper rifles and machine guns?
Killed his dad as a teenager, and now he's just institutionalized from prison. He's just learned a whole new set of skills from a bad place,
I guess I don't know if this was social commentary, but in the day and age we live in now, I have gotten to the point where I don't like guns, and I don't know if they're making social commentary that everybody in Texas does have one. That's a little different. I guess that is a...
Do you think you'll shoot a gun
else?
between now and forever?
Yeah, probably.
Me?
Yeah.
I mean, probably somewhere, but I'm not
I'm just saying.
Out. I'm not going to get into hunting or anything. I think I got to get a hobby. I think I'm going to pick up golf next summer.
You have to.
Yeah, I'm not out. I'm not outdoorsy, but I'm not
outdoorsy.
A conservationist.
You just have to. Yeah.
Got to do something. I do want to go back because I do want to talk about this because I like this scene so much. I don't know how much it impacts the movie, but the poker scene, I really enjoy.
Oh, when he just that's nice because we get the whole Comanche Lord of the Plains thing and kind of where this crazy brother's coming from and his, I don't know, a man out of time.
Oh, this guy's off the register.
Yeah.
Maybe
animosity. The ex-wife still doesn't seem to appreciate what he's done for them at the end. There still seems a little bit of attitude with him. Granted, I don't know what would happen in their marriage, but now she has a whole ranch with like oil coming out.
It seems like he was an alcoholic and a deadbeat dad up until then.
Yeah, but now they're fucking rich, so that's pretty cool.
And on top of that, he had a nightmare of a brother that she had to see once he was out of prison.
Yeah, now he's dead. So like everything's like kind of chill now.
Maybe the son grows up to be like Patrick Mahomes. I don't know.
I guess he'll just become a white trash guy that was raised white trash. And
he's going into the trade. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
sorry.
Someone tells me he's coming up.
Optimistic.
Yeah. Just with a lot more money. He's like, Just the one thing I want to point out is, you can build tension, and you don't have to do it by editing a million shot. Like
I get like the quick cuts and the tight shot, and then just. Yeah, I get what you're saying. It's mostly suspense and horror movies, that kind of editing. Yeah.
Any action film is over. Almost comedies are over edited. Like the jokes can happen in the frame by the acting and what you see. Like that's all you need. And this proves that you don't have to make a million edits. The only people that I think have to make a million edits is the Taken movies, because there's just no way that he's a fucking action star.
And you got anybody over 60 who's an action star, you got to have quick cuts to make it seem like they're hoop.
What's better than robbing a bank though? Besides like a hitman or something, like that's so suspenseful. Like you're going to do this job that's like super illegal. I think that's
Mission Impossible kind of spycraft.
I guess anything where you can get caught is probably
heist and spycraft are kind of one and the same as far as like the job, the tension, the crew.
That's fair.
Oh, side note, even if Cameron and I are a heist, I'm never going to be in the same room while he's having sex. I don't care if he's been to prison.
In fact, let's just get separate.
Just get another room,
dude.
Just get another room,
like, dude. Or just we just won $100,000.
Yeah, they're going to compass another. They'll compass a room.
Or on top of that, just if you can't get another room, just
bathroom,
leave.
Yeah,
just get out.
Go down to the casino.
Leave.
There's a whole goddamn casino attached to these rooms. Just get out of there.
For real.
The brothers like wrestling with the sunset in the background. It's kind of silhouette. Like,
that's another thing we don't do.
Favorite scene of the
we
movie.
never josh each other, Jordan. We don't josh and drink and look.
No joshing. Nope.
Okay, question to you guys. How do you feel about the cliffhanger ending? It seems like there's going to be one more shootout. There's unresolved business.
Oh, I love it.
I mean, Jeff Bridges needs to resolve his. Do you wish we would?
He slowly went for his piece. Oh,
do you wish we would have had that last shootout, or are you fine with how this ends?
No, I actually like it better.
You can't.
Well, because that brings up my second question: who would you be rooting for to live in the end? They both have very just causes for their thing.
I'm fine with either of them living.
Chris Pine. I mean, old man's gonna die in like
old man.
Yeah, but it's not about old man. It's about his part. It's about Alberto and his family.
Plus, it almost seems like he wants to go out that way a little bit.
Yeah, well, that is the thing.
Do you want to see a duel?
Well, it seems like it's heading that way because no matter what, I mean, as he's walking, he's like, "We'll be waiting for you," kind of thing. The whole thing, it's ending with, "We'll finish this later."
But I like how they worded it. It's like, maybe you'll find peace, and maybe I will. It's like one of us is going to get killed.
All while the hat's on his boot. Oh my god!
That's
boner.
That's almost my favorite part of the movie. Man. If you haven't seen it ever, just wait till the end.
I think I'm rooting for Jeff Bridges.
Beautiful.
Chris Pine he accomplished what he had to, and Jeff Bridges didn't get any closure from it. His partner's dead, and they never solved the case. Chris Pine's fine. He just wanted his family taken care of.
Plus, Chris Pine went in knowing that he was going to die. Sorry, Mark.
Well, and to Jeff Bridges' point, he's like, you set the whole thing in motion. Like, you might not have like pulled the trigger, but like your dipshit brother, you knew he was a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Family, man. Family.
All right, Vin Diesel.
I do have a question though, and this one this is about the end, the last conversation between Chris Pines and Jeff Bridges. Does Jeff Bridges in some way respect what Chris Pines did? Not the outcome, but that he was able to pull it off, or that he did it for his family?
I don't.
Am I misreading that?
Maybe mutual. I don't know. It does seem a little mutual
Jeff
respect.
Bridges awake at night drinking like Shiner Box. Like he's.
No, I think it's just fear. Yeah, rage. I mean, like
Rage is probably.
I thought though, if they did go against this trope, we all thought it'd be Jeff Bridges, right?
Funny enough, I remember seeing it thinking like
he's retiring.
I was suspicious because it seemed like they were setting it up more than usual a little bit. You know what I mean? They were constantly well, that is the movie though. That's pretty much how it goes. Anybody that's about to retire. It did shock me when Billy got shot though, just because it does. I'm not sure if his name's Billy.
It's shocking. It
might be his real name.
Is that that's the partner?
When Alberto gets shot, his partner. It took me.
That's an animosity. It just happened so quick. You're like, oh my god.
Funny enough, though, I guess the first time I saw the movie, I remember thinking, "Fuck, that guy's been popping up a long time." If I was playing dude, then he's like taking out. I'm like, yeah, that's what I was thinking. You got to duck and take cover, bud. But overall, this is a movie that didn't have a huge release, didn't get the press, but it's starting to build now on streaming. So it's a great movie, and if you haven't seen it and you're for some reason listening to this, go watch it. Well, with that, should we move it on to recasting? Recasting. Pretty tight. We're just going to keep it to the two brothers, the two sheriffs. Let's start with Alberto at the bottom. Jordan, who'd you have?
I want to keep him obviously native because that's what
this one, the whole character is specifically Comanche and like a native thing with all the jokes. This one does seem at least like.
And for that reason, unfortunately, and this is ignorant of me, I don't know a lot of Native American actors, so I went to a movie that I know has a lot of them that I like quite a bit. Unfortunately, it's a white hero movie, which is not great. Dances with Wolves. I went for Rodney A. Grant, who plays Wind in His Hair. It's like his friend in the movie. And I don't know really all that many movies he's in, but that's what I went to.
I had a feeling you would dive into your Dances with Wolves pool, and sure did. Mark, who'd you got?
I went for John Bernthal.
John Bernthal. The name's familiar. Give me a face.
Walking Dead. He's the brother in Walking Dead.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I like that dude. He's recently in the Bear, right?
Yeah, he's the brother. The more interviews I hear him talk, he seems like intense, weird guy, kind of, but he's a good actor.
He acts like an intense, weird guy.
Yeah, so maybe that's it.
Let's bring him what he knows.
I went with Adam Beach. It'd be a little bit younger partner, but he's maybe he's most famous for
mine too. Yeah,
Flags of Our Fathers, Wind Talkers, Smoke Signals.
Is Wind Talkers good? Does that hold up? Was it ever good?
I don't remember it. I think I've seen it.
That makes sense. It probably. I think I saw it once. Anyway, sorry.
So I would say no, maybe then based on that, but I don't know. I just don't remember it at all. Let's move it on to Marcus, the Jeff Bridges character. I have two here that I've been doing a lot recently. So, Jordan, who do you have?
Okay, I was all over the place, so I tried to go with someone that makes sense, but wasn't just complete chalk.
I'm all over the place, too.
I want Woody Harrelson.
I thought about Woody Harrelson, but for a different role. Interesting.
Okay, yeah, that's
This is the Jeff Bridges character?
Yeah. It is the Jeff Bridges character. The lead detective. He's played True Detective. I believe he's Texan or feels like a Texan, so that's what I went. Cricket silence means I nailed it again.
No, we already responded to it. That was a re-saying of it.
I've got 4.
And I'm open to wig or bald, but probably bald.
I'll take bald.
Yeah, makes more sense.
Mark, what do you got?
I've got 4 here that I'm really trying to choose from. I'm gonna go Denzel Washington.
Okay, you're just going the old retiring cop. I get that.
Yep.
I'm between 2 here, and I think it's just because of Yellowstone, but I kind of thought current Kevin Costner might be kind of nice in this role.
We all thought about it a little bit.
Who else did you guys have? Maybe
it's almost cheating because of Yellowstone.
I know. That's why I was a little hesitant. I almost went someone else.
But you're right.
I was going to maybe say Josh Brolin too, but I've recast him, I think, the last 3 weeks in a row. 3 weeks in a row.
I stayed away for Josh Brolin essentially because of No Country for Old Men.
He's been doing. He's done some westerns. He fits it.
I thought everybody was going to say Tommy Lee Jones, so I'm like, I can't do it. We've been doing Tommy Lee Jones movies recently, so. That's.
I'm sorry,
but it's the exact same role of.
No, now that you say that, I didn't think of Tommy Lee Jones.
The exact same role though as No Country for Old Men, though. It's like very similar.
Ah, that's a good one. Someone should have said that.
From it.
Chris Cooper.
I like my Woody Harrelson.
Chris Cooper.
I thought he was good.
That could work for me, maybe.
You're a Coop fan. You're a Cooper fan. You throw him out there. He could do it.
I just like October Sky. That's it's fine.
He really does.
Oh, you like the Patriot as well.
That's true.
I do.
Yeah. I of course thought Gene Hackman as well.
I thought Gene Hackman too.
Like a Kurt Russell.
I thought that too.
Yeah. That would have worked too.
And those are all fine with me. Let's move it on to Tanner, the brother. I've been doing him a lot, but fuck it. I could kind of see Scott Conn doing this.
Oh, that's what I wrote down.
Oh,
and
This
wow.
is
based off Megan.
He's got hairline. He's got the hairline.
Not Weasley or evil enough, though. You know what I mean? He's still too
But the
likable.
hot temper, the short stature, I think helps.
Yeah, it's the hot temper I could see him doing well. But I don't know.
So because you said that, and that's what I wrote down, and that was completely based off Megan's suggestion, because I had a really tough time.
You guys both had Scott Conn?
Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
That's
a great pick.
I got Tom Hardy then, if Scott Conn is taken.
Tom Hardy was in the back of my mind, so I don't hate that.
My only problem with Tom Hardy is when he does an American accent.
Yeah, we all saw what happened.
Sling Blady.
Yeah.
It's Sling Blady, so that was kind of like
We all saw what happened.
The exact same thought process. Like, I don't want Lawless to happen again, and it was.
Oh no,
Mark, who'd you have?
Lords of the Plains.
I was thinking, and I kind of spoiled it earlier, but I went Rounders. Edward
that's
Norton.
a good one.
I thought about that, but
It's actually not bad at all. I didn't think about that.
He's Weasley enough, but for some reason he just never seems like
hot-headed enough.
Like killer enough, like
You guys all
aggressive
picked like
enough.
bigger
you know what I mean?
guys. Yeah.
Yeah,
He's kind of
I
like
did end up picking
wormy.
guys.
But then again, just like a Weasley little shooter. I mean, I don't know. It's that.
Yeah.
He was in the back of my mind.
Yep.
It would have worked though, because the character is not likable.
It's Worm.
Right?
I mean, it would have been Worm.
It's Worm. It
It's
really is
Worm.
Worm.
That's just what I drew to. Did
Go back and see our Rounders episode.
Any honorable mentions for Tanner?
Yeah, Sam Rockwell, but it's almost too fun. Maybe not crazy
that
enough.
was-
Green Mile, Seven Psychopaths. I mean, he's in a lot of things, but those. A Midsummer Night's Dream. I love him in that. He's fun and aloof.
I think he is in like a heisty movie with like Anna Kendrick.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a random.
Am I wrong about that, or am I right about that?
No, I think he is.
I don't know if it's heisty, but yeah, he's like an ex.
Yes, that's what it is.
Do you know who came to my head? Honest to God, but I'm like, oh, it's too much and way too Italian. But it definitely seems
Joe
like
Pesci?
Joe Pesci is. We need like 20% less Pesci and 100% less Italian. But there's definitely Pesci in there.
Yeah, but I could see where you're coming from that. If you could like take a lot of Italian out of it and somehow make that Southern, yeah that'd be great. Okay, let's move it on to Toby. Toby, the main character. Okay,
Toby with
I'm just gonna swing for the fences. I have nothing but A-listers, but make this a Leo movie, maybe.
Hand up, he's my first, so I'll go. I'll pick.
Okay, so that's it. That's a yes at least.
I did have Leo as a first for me.
I mean, because Chris Pine, apart from that one fight scene in like the gas station, he's pretty chill. He's pretty calm, pretty pensive, thoughtful, looking off in the distance, drinking with his brother. Little Josh and little
This is no rudeness to any Western, but the protagonist in Westerns just has to fill the boots.
That's true. That was my biggest problem with it. The acting, yes. The physique, maybe
but
no.
So here's what I want. Physique was whatever. Obviously, Leo would kill in this. Just out of curiosity, what stage in the game are we doing?
Current.
Leo? Right
I want him right now.
Oh, you want him a little
current.
older? Okay.
Yeah, I want him a little weathered.
A little older.
I like it older.
100%.
That makes much more sense. See
yeah.
more things. Mine's weird, and it's going to be a little younger than yours. And I've turned the corner on this guy, I assume, with everybody. I did Robert Pattinson.
Oh yeah, I could see that actually.
Interesting.
I like Robert.
Has he been
Pattinson.
in roles like this though? Sort of like a weathered role, like.
So he's in this one where I think it's with his brother. They do. I have not seen it, but people talk about it quite a bit. He does a really rob banks or do something like that. It's set in modern time as well, but I think it's set in a city. He honestly
he won me over with The Lighthouse and some other things, but then also with Tenet. Tenet, I really found him charming.
Well, that's just because you're into mermaids, Cameron.
I'm not into mermaids.
I think he's proven he can pull off an American accent.
No, I agree, and
it doesn't deter.
He can be charming and kind of likable.
Cedric Diggory.
I don't even like him in that. He's not a great Cedric Diggory, but since then he's been good in other movies. He's not good in teen
Just
movies.
not Twilight.
And if you've listened to him, it seems like he does.
It's a shitty movie though. They fucking run through forest green.
Yeah, but I think that's part of the problem. You can clearly see in the interviews and stuff like he doesn't respect the material, so he doesn't give a shit. So like that's why it's not a great performance.
I just thought of a Tanner.
Okay.
Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Young
probably
Kiefer
right.
Sutherland. That's not bad.
No,
Right?
that's really good.
Right.
That's not bad at
I'd
all.
almost want to see this as a 90s Western, but I don't. You know what I mean?
No, we're good. We're good. I did have one A-lister that I thought about a lot, and I guess you guys can tell me if you're there. You think Brad Pitt now? I thought it'd be a good Brad Pitt now.
Well, Mark,
role.
have you gone yet?
I have not gone yet.
Go.
Holy shit.
Go before we throw
Jordan,
that
what
out.
the fuck? No, actually, those are. I'm just like sitting here, like listening to all these good options. Miles Teller.
Oh,
Miles Teller.
that could maybe
Ooh,
work
I like
for me.
that too.
Yeah, Miles Teller could pull this off. My first thought, honestly, for Toby, the main brother, was Matt Damon. But then I switched to Leo. He's at least a little sturdier. He was Jason Bourne. He can at least do some shit, you know? He has the
I'd
acting
like to see Matt
chops.
Damon do some like heisty shit like that.
A lot of big A-list actors can fit in this movie. So let us know if you see anyone else in there. This is Tanner's a hard one, but the rest are kind of flexible.
Tanner's tough.
But we're gonna move it on to Mount Rushmore, top four.
Top four.
Top four.
Mount Rushmore, top four. Mount Rushmore, top four. This week, we're doing our favorite heist movies. We're going to go Mark, me, Jordan this week. Mark, what's your favorite heist movie? And this is your favorite type of movie.
I love a good heist movie. It's apparent by now. I just love a good heist movie. So my favorite one is Ben Affleck in The Town.
I thought you were going to
good.
say The Town. You were a huge fan of it when it came out. It's not a wrong answer.
It's just rewatchable for some reason for me.
And you have very similar characters in that in this movie. You
got the
already
hot-
know which character is going to make it go wrong.
You got the hothead Reiner. Yeah, I mean,
It's modern.
similar kind
It
of
works
thing.
for the first couple times. They actually do it and like get away with it. Great movie.
The Town was definitely on the top of my list. I don't know if it was going to be my number one. In fact, it wasn't. I'm going Ocean's 11, the remake. It's maybe my favorite, just like getting a crew together heist movie of all time.
So
and
good.
I mean, it's a remake of something that obviously worked before. So they made a bunch of
That is
sequels
one
off it.
thing.
That one
if I were
was
to
not
point
going
out
to slip to
something-
number 3. You had to pick that there. Yeah, like
It's my number one.
Yeah.
The Town was maybe top 3, but that's up there.
If there was something that I miss in The Town, and then also like Hell or High Water, I like getting the crew together.
You need,
It's fun.
yeah, that's
You got
part of
the
the
crew.
fun.
That's half the fucking movie. That's what's so fun about that movie. Okay, so mine is not going to be a conventional favorite, but I'm fucking saying Point Break, and you can come at me if you don't want to.
No,
Those
that
are
was-
big
it's
crappers.
definitely on lists.
It's up there, man.
It's
I
up
was
there,
thinking
dude.
about it.
I mean, go back and let's start Point Break. It's also my favorite surfing movie. Yeah.
No, I agree with that.
Okay.
Do you want to? Here's one that is maybe on the border that I was thinking. Inception. It's all about getting like the thoughts. I mean, it's planting
Yep.
something instead. But
I like
that's
that
a crew
play. It's not a
together.
conventional, but it's true. They
It's
get the crew together. It is kind of just a heist.
It's a heist movie. Again, they're implanting something instead of taking necessarily, but same concept of the whole thing.
sort of on.
I feel like people have soured on that, but I
still love it. I still love it a bunch. Won't take it away from me.
Sorry, Mark.
No, it's sort of on your wavelength. Like Now You See Me or 21 or the Ocean's movies. Like
Now
just
You See
any
Me is
sort
almost
of,
another little tricky because it's not conventional, but it's a heist movie. What was the other one you just said? It was,
21.
21's are good, just
Yeah,
like money run movie. Again, Kevin Costner, maybe not Kevin Costner. Kevin Spacey, maybe a little problematic. He's a bad guy, but it's a good movie. Fuck it, it's a good movie.
Sorkin movies are kind of like that. Even like the Social Network is just. It's not a heist movie. It just feels like there's
Kind
always
of like it's building to
tension
that.
building. Yeah.
I feel like we should all mention the movie we've seen at least 100 times on FX, The Italian Job. I've seen that movie so many times.
I've seen
on
the
TV.
beginning of that movie maybe more than any movie I've ever seen.
Do you know what's a more modern day one that I have not seen The Italian Job as much. I definitely have seen it,
I've seen it roughly a million.
but I haven't
times.
put it down like a lot. It's does it hold up?
Yeah,
Is it good?
it's still fun.
It's still fun?
Yeah, another remake.
Good action.
A modern day one that I really haven't put the time into to watch many times over, but I'm going Edgar Wright's Baby Driver. I really
that
do
was
like
on my
movie.
list too. I've only seen that once actually. I
Once.
think in theaters
like
with
twice?
you.
Only seen it once. I have to rewatch that.
Yeah,
it's good.
I bet it holds up. It's good.
That's a bank heist movie?
Actor, I guess. Oh yeah, well the robbery, yeah. In general, that's why he's the driver for all the heists they're doing.
If I'm not mistaken, he's like autistic or some sort of high function.
Something with his hearing, or
I can't exactly remember.
Are there like Edgar Wright like cuts like?
Yeah, for sure.
Well,
yeah. Can't take that out.
Buttering toast.
It's everything last night in Soho wasn't, Mark. You know, it delivers.
Yeah. That one just missed for some bummer.
This is a movie I talked.
Look good though. Look good. Movie look good.
That's true. This is a movie I've talked about a million years ago on What You Watching. The Vault. It's a movie about recruiting a young MIT kid who's good at math to break into a crazy vault. It's starring Freddie Highmore, who's a good actor. It's not
Good Will
overly
Hunting.
No.
No, I'm just my bad.
Freddie Highmore, though, that former child actor, it has good actors in it. The plot's it's not overly great, but it's entertaining. Oh, you know what? National Treasure.
Ooh,
all those
100%.
are heist movies.
A little sneaky.
Crew stealing
like that.
stuff just popped into my head.
Go back and listen to our National Treasure episode.
One of the franchises I've always wanted to make another one. Please.
And I think
Please,
I thought
Nick
they were
Cage.
rumored to be doing that. I might be wrong.
So this one's heist, if not heist adjacent, that I haven't seen in years. Three Kings with Ice Cube, George Clooney, and Mark Wahlberg.
I've actually never seen it. I just know of it.
It's good. It takes place at one of the Iraq wars or something. Or anyway, it's a good movie. Can't go wrong with heist. Nobody said tower heist, and there's a reason we shouldn't have.
Well, we're also just missing big things. Like we're literally missing heist, Heat, Inside Man. There's like a million.
I think Heat,
Inside Man
Heat
was
and Inside Man are the ones that people will be like, you guys are assholes.
Yeah, but
you've lost credibility.
But again,
read our reviews.
This is
we don't
our
have
list.
any.
This is what we like to watch. Okay, man. We're not saying they're not good. We're just saying
they're not Point Break.
Thanks for listening to our take on Hell or High Water. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate and review. If you want more content, check out the whole Majestic Jam network. I'm Not Crazy, Urban Hermit. And until then, we'll check you on the next one. Bye-bye.